This is an overall view of our 700 plus square foot nuclear, biological, and chemical fallout shelter and the generator housing that goes with it. This section is 10 foot wide by 30 foot long by 7 foot tall. You can see the emergency escape hatch there on top at the end. This is another emergency escape hatch. You can see the ladder type rungs that help get out of the shelter, along with a bolted on plate in the bottom. This reservoir is filled with sand. To escape using this emergency escape hatch, undo the bolts from inside, the plate falls in on hinges, and you have a way out of the shelter. You can see one of the vent pipes helps circulate air throughout the shelter. The shelter that I'm standing on now is 10 foot wide by 26 foot long by 7 foot tall. This is a closer view of this 30-foot section of the shelter. This shelter has 6 beds and a full bath, along with a cabinet in the corner for television or books. This section has a walk-in closet, a vault with gun safe, 5 beds, and a security camera system with 4 outside infrared cameras, a monitor, and a DVR that will be in the vault to prevent any tampering. You can see the walkway here. It is 5 foot wide, 30 foot long, and 6 foot tall. You can see the door and door base. All you'll see is the white part sticking above ground where the door is there. That puts the walkway approximately 6 feet underground, and the rest of the shelter will be 5 foot underground once installed. This is another view of the generator housing that goes with the shelter. Again, the only part that will show above ground is the white part. You can see the turbine and the vent pipes that help circulate the air throughout the shelter that keeps the 14 kilowatt generator cool. The 14 kilowatt generator is wired into the shelter so that if your electricity goes out, the generator automatically comes on and goes off again when power is restored. Here we are at the entrance to the shelter, looking down into the walkway. You can see the 8-ton bottle jack there that can be used to escape the shelter in case a tree or car lands on top of the shelter. And that's where the jack sits. Going on down into the shelter. Looking back up at the door, you can see the lift cylinder on the end that helps lift the heavy door. We have motion sensor lights in the entrance here, along with night lights so you don't have to turn the lights on to walk through the shelter. There's room for additional storage underneath the stairs there. This is our blast door. It's the end view of it. You can see how thick it is. The facing is 1-inch plate steel. Nothing getting through it, this bad boy. The door will also have a gasket, a closed cell gasket that goes all the way around it. It'll prevent anything from getting into the shelter. This is looking back down the walkway from the other end. You can see the vault door here, just another bit of security for getting into the main part of the shelter. There's 2 fold down beds in the walkway. And here's our blast door. You can kind of see how it works. Once the door is closed, you tighten down these wing nuts. There's 4 of those. And fasten the 6 2,000-pound latches. There isn't anything that's going to move or come through that door. There's shelves here for a small TV or for books. Here's the breaker box for the shelter. And beside the breaker box is a place for the generator box. Again, this separates the current so that if your electricity goes out to the shelter, the generator automatically comes on and goes off again once power is restored. And here we are in the bedroom in the 26-foot section of the shelter. So we got 4 beds on this side and 2 beds on this side. Beds are bolted to the wall and fold down. It's fully carpeted. A built-in cabinet for a TV or anything you want to put in it. You can see we've provided plenty of electrical outlets throughout the shelter. This is a slide that goes to the outside to let warm air out and let cool air circulate. Being underground, it will be plenty cool, so you shouldn't have to have this, but just in case, it's there. It's mainly used for fresh air if you need fresh air in the shelter. You can see the rungs there leading up to one of the 2 emergency escape hatches. Here is a closet with shelves for storage. On the bottom there's a hot water heater. We've added a protective grill around it to keep kids from getting burned. Going back into the hall, to the left here is the bathroom, full bath. You can see it has a full-size shower. Here's a fan used to blow air to the outside from the bathroom. There's an area underneath that for shelves for towels or toiletries. Here's the commode. You can see the sewage system underneath that. The shower, sink, and commode all goes into the sewage system there. The sewage system chops everything up real fine and blows it through this one line to the outside up to 150 feet into your septic tank or city sewage.